Welcome back. Yeah, another video. What, who, when, where? I know, I disappeared. Okay, I know. Chill. Hey, listen, I've been busy, okay? I've been busy. I had finals. I had to move out. As you can tell from the background, I don't live in the same room I used to live in anymore. I'll give you a tour later, but it's summer. Just as an update, I moved out the 6th of May. I finished my first year of college here in America. Thankfully, I made it through. That second semester was gonna be the end of me, but thankfully I made it through. And we're here now. I'll update you on what happened in the summer, but today I have a very exciting video for you. We are going to talk about my perspective of why you should study abroad, and specifically what studying abroad in the US is like. So if you're excited to see that, like, subscribe, comment, and let's get into the video. So if you don't know, I came to the US on the 11th of August last year in 2021. I'm originally from Egypt and I've been here for a year now. Well, almost a year because it's not technically August yet. I finished my first year of college here. I'm studying computer science, and this is why I'm gonna talk to you about studying abroad, okay? If you know me personally, I've been trying to study abroad for almost 3 years prior to actually getting here to America. I've applied in a lot of countries, I've applied to a lot of colleges, and the reason why it goes way beyond just the education itself to study abroad is you get to meet a lot of new people, you get to experience a lot of new things, you get to mature as a person, you get to grow up, you get to try new things for yourself, you get to reinvent yourself. So the first point that I want to talk about is getting to meet new people. Wherever you're coming from, if you've only lived in your country for so long, or whatever country you've been brought up in, if you've only lived in that country for so long, you're growing up in an echo chamber. So most likely a lot of the people around you that you surround yourself with have the same train of thought, they have the same lifestyle, you all share the same culture, probably a lot of similar beliefs. So it's kind of like an echo chamber. You don't really get a breath of fresh air to see how other people act, how other people live their lives, what they think of the world, and all that. So when you go to travel abroad or study abroad, you will meet a lot of people that are almost the same age as you, and they come from different backgrounds, and they all have different experiences in general. I was so blessed to make a lot of friends throughout the last year from all around the world, from Venezuela, from Colombia, from America itself, from France, and from almost everywhere around the world. Like, I got to talk with them and I got to be friends with them, and it's so cool to see just how different like other people who are now in the same situation as you are have different background stories and such. So the second thing I want to talk about is you get to go to new places. So it's been a dream forever to see New York City. And I'm personally a person that loves the city because I was brought up in a city. So New York City is one of the best cities in the world, so how could you not love it if you're a city person? So I've always wanted to visit New York City, and I've had the opportunity to do so when I came here, and it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever experienced in my life. I'm so grateful for that opportunity. I got to see all the monuments, the Empire State Building, the Met Museum, the Statue of Liberty, all those places. I got to see them in person and experience what it's like. I even had a New York bagel. But yeah, so I got to see that for myself, and it's I cannot even put it into words what that does to you when you see something that you've envisioned for so long or you've dreamt about for so long, and then you get to see it yourself in person. It's one of the coolest experiences you could ever have in your lifetime. And not only that, but I've been fortunate enough to visit Miami, and I've been fortunate enough to visit Orlando. Later on, I'll talk to you a little bit about that later on. But you get to see new places and see how people live there, and what it looks like, and how different it could be from where you were brought up. And it really is therapeutic. A lot of people use traveling as a way of therapy to extend their vision and see the world, and be more involved as a global citizen, if you may. But yeah, so there's a lot of cool stuff in seeing new places, and all those places you see on TV and all those places you see in the movies, when you get to see them in real life, it's overwhelming. It's just so beautiful, and you can't believe that that's a real place. That's the one thought I had the entire time in New York City, that I cannot believe that this is a real place right now. This is generally just why you should travel abroad, but if we're talking about specifically why you should study abroad, statistically speaking, the US and Europe are the highest and best quality education that you can have worldwide. And the opportunities provided there are invaluable, and it's just something that you have to pursue at a certain point in your life. If you've come in from a third world country or not, it's just so many opportunities in Europe and in the US to pursue whatever your field of work is. And most of the leading corporations in the world are based in the US. So therefore, when you get your degree, you have this opportunity to work with some of the biggest names that you know. For someone like me in computer science, that could be Google or Microsoft or Apple. And for someone in business, there's Goldman Sachs and there's Chase and stuff. There's just like so many opportunities to pursue whatever your field of work is and whatever your interests are. Another thing that I want to talk about in traveling abroad and studying abroad is that you get to mature as a person. I look back now, and it hasn't even been a full year, but I've changed so much as a person and I've grown up a lot. And it was the first time I ever had to manage my own budget. It was the first time I ever had to plan my own schedule. And if I tell you right now, I plan at least a month ahead of how my life is gonna be, because as an international student and studying abroad, you're most likely not gonna have that many family connections or people that you could rely on unless you've been blessed like myself with such a strong and supportive group of friends. But even if, then some things you just have to do you for yourself. And if you had family with you, it would be easier. For example, finding a place to stay, cooking your own food, just a lot of tiny little things that add up and just like forms that independence that you're looking for. So you get to grow up a lot. So I was someone who never cooked their own food. I never did my own laundry. I worked back home in Egypt, but I never had to use my own money to pay rent or pay any utilities. I used my money to just buy clothes and go out with friends. But right now, I know how to manage my own budget, to pay rent, and to still buy myself stuff that I like, to buy food, to pay for utilities. So that's all stuff that you learn while you're on it. A misconception that a lot of people have is that you mature and then you go on this experience of traveling abroad, but it's truly the opposite. It's when you travel abroad that the life you see and experience forces you to grow up and mature and learn new things and count on yourself. So if you're looking to change your mindset and change the way you view the world, you have to travel abroad. You also learn how to make connections with people from different backgrounds than you. You learn how to manage your own self in crises. So oftentimes you will face crises, whether it's, for example, you get into a car accident. You do not call your family because your family will not be able to help you here, but you have to depend on yourself, just face the paperwork, the legalities of it. If you're looking for a place to stay, you have to search for the rent. You have to make sure it's a safe environment. You have to find a place that's convenient for you to live next to your school or place of work. And these are all things that you do not think of when you're living with your family or back home, because it's kind of like second nature, or it's already available for you. But when you have to do it yourself, there's just a lot that goes into it that you come to learn, and it makes you a full-on grown independent adult, which is something that I absolutely love. And if this terrifies you, trust me, 1 year ago I was so scared of taking this opportunity and traveling alone and being so far away from my family, because I do not have family in the US. I am living here alone, but I have come to have family throughout the connections and friends that I've made, and I'm so grateful for them. But just speaking of which, another thing that happens is you get to reinvent yourself. A lot of the things I like right now, I did not like before, and a lot of things that I liked before, I do not like anymore. And your personality changes a lot in many different perspectives: the way you think, the way you act, what you like, what you don't like, what kind of people you surround yourself with. And you're a lot less, maybe this is just in my case, but you're a lot less judgmental, because you get to see what makes people the way they are, and you're not as fast to judge anymore because you understand how they got to be in the situations that they are in right now. But yeah, so this is just a short overview of what it's like to travel abroad and study abroad, why you should do it. Definitely, the degree is worth a lot. To get a bachelor's degree or a master's degree from a university in Europe or the US opens up a lot of doors for you and opens up a lot of opportunities, whether you pursue those opportunities in the US or Europe or whatever country you're coming from. So it's definitely, there's a lot of monetary value, but there's also a lot of stuff that you learn that is just not valued as equally as to money. It's much more valuable and it's much more integral to being an adult and a functioning individual in society in general. So that's it for now. That's all I have. I'll try to make more videos on what it's like to study specifically in the US. I'll also make some videos on what it's like to study in Europe and compared to studying in the US. I'll be talking about the finances for it. I'll be talking about the difference in cultures. I'll be talking about the stereotypes that you expect to see and what the reality of it is. All that and more in the next couple of videos. So stay tuned, subscribe, and I will see you. Peace.
I don't even smoke weed, but I feel high when I'm next to you, babe. Used to be my girl, used to be